It's your life, yeah. It's your life, yeah.
Hey, say, Niecy, come
When I think about your mercy and your glory poured up on me, Lord, I thank you.
Lord, I thank you.
Yes, I thank you.
Yes, I thank you.
When I think about your mercy and your glory poured up on me, Lord, I thank you.
Lord, I thank you.
Yes, I thank you.
Yes, I thank you. Hey, man, say, y'all, come on.
Lord, you reign, you reign, you reign.
I like this, come on.
Lord, you reign, you reign, you reign.
Forever and ever.
Yes, you reign, you reign.
For always. Lord, we love you. Thank you.
When I think about your goodness and your mercy poured upon me, Lord, I thank you.
Lord, I thank you.
Just wanna thank you.
Just wanna thank you.
When I wake up in the morning, I just lift my
Thank you.
hands and praise you. Lord, I thank you.
Lord, I thank you.
Just wanna thank you.
Just wanna thank you.
'Cause you reign, you reign, you reign.
Hallelujah, come on.
You reign, you reign, you reign.
Yeah. Hallelujah, come on.
You reign, you reign, you reign.
Come on, man.
Yes, you reign, you
Hey, turn it up.
reign, you reign.
Turn it up. Hey, Rod, come on, man. Tell him.
When I think about your goodness and your mercy stored up on me, Lord, I thank you, yeah.
Sing, boy.
Lord, I thank you.
One more time. Tell her. Come on.
When I think about your mercy and everything you done, Lord, I thank you,
Lord, I
yeah.
thank you.
I just thank you, Lord. Lord, you reign, yeah.
Hey,
Say
let's go,
you
come on, come on.
reign,
You reign, you
Y'all better sing.
say Lord, you reign.
Yeah.
Lord, you reign.
Always. To the Most High.
Lord, you done so much for me. I can't deny how you love
Sing,
me.
Niecy.
You shed your blood on Calvary to save a wretch like me.
I love it.
I thank you, Lord, for the lessons. 'Cause Lord, you just keep on blessing.
Thank you.
The tests and trials make me strong. Keep me holding on.
Come on.
That's why I'm desperate for you.
I'm lost without you. I'm lost without you. Yeah. Come on. Just wanna worship. He reigns. I am because he is.
Outstanding. What are you guys doing? We got here. We're going to be living our best life tonight. I've been honored and blessed with the opportunity to have the one and only Minister Stretch Sanders in here tonight. Everybody clap it up for Mr. Stretch Sanders. We're going to get it on tonight. Brother Sanders, thank you for coming tonight. I appreciate you hitting my scene. And can you just tell us a lot about yourself to get started?
Well, first and foremost, I am extremely honored and humbled to be here. I do not take, how can I say, these type of spaces for granted. I do not, because I understand it's a blessing. Anybody want to hear from my big mouth, I definitely applaud, and I appreciate that. And so basically, my name is Minister Stretch Sanders. I'm a Baptist minister from Chicago originally, based in Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been here about 10 years now. I guess you can call me a social justice activist if you like.
Yes,
I just consider myself just a revolutionary, just a brother who is doing what my faith tells me, which is to seek justice and to do good. I am definitely a required taste, but that's all right, right? You know, when you stand on truth and when you have a backbone, when you don't scratch, when you don't itch, when you don't laugh when ain't nobody telling a joke, you know, that would be a required taste. So I just be obedient to what my spirit tells me to do, what God tells me to do, and that's to serve, build, and love my people and humanity. So that's me in a nutshell, and so that's it.
All right. Now, that's what I like. I'll tell you a little bit of the history behind Minister Stretch Sanders and myself. I ran into him a few years back, probably like 4 or 5 years ago at Evergreen Missionary Baptist Church. He was a youth pastor there and associate minister, and I used to just stand up and watch this young brother. And y'all know I'm a little up there in age these days, but watching him shine in the beacon that came from every time he spoke, it actually drew me to him and his height. This brother standing high above the pulpit. And I'm like, this tall brother is in here changing people's lives and ministering to them and the youth. So over the course of times, going to different events here in the community, I would always run into Minister Stretch Sanders. I'm like, this guy is everywhere. And then he's just started getting into the community. President of the New Era.
That's right, New Era Las Vegas.
Yes, man. And if you're not out there watching his videos and what he's doing for the community over there in 89106 and 89030 and the whole north and west side, man, what a blessing to have him and his team. His followers, his group. I mean, they just get out there. And you know, Brother Stretch, it's one thing I know you love to do, because I see it all the time. You be getting your dance on, ain't that right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
out
right.
there from Chicago, seen him
Come
stepping with his mom one day. Hey, that's it. So, Brother Sanders, I got one more question for you. You know, we have 13 New Era affiliates in the United States right now. There's 52 states. How can we grow?
So just to give you a little background first on New Era. So New Era Las Vegas is a offspring or a branch of a tree called New Era Nation. Okay. So that tree was started by a brother named Zeke, along with his fiance, then girlfriend, Kiera. Basically, they had a vision to start an organization that was originally for men. It was during the phase where they was like, you know, what a black man, we need men to step up. Of course, the sisters like, don't leave us out, which thank God we didn't, because all of our chapters would not be what they are if it was not for our sisters. Yes. And they started New Era Detroit, August 17, 2014. In 2016, they started New Era Chicago and New Era Atlanta, and that's what started New Era Nation. Okay. So here we are, 7 years, going into our 7th year. We have chapters officially in 13 cities, but we have about 4 or 5 that's like transitional chapters, okay. Like Philly and Pittsburgh. They're still kind of like getting their feet wet. Mm-hmm. But we have 13 that's operating, 1 in Nigeria, Africa. And so, you know, it's growing. The group is expanding every day. I think right now our focus is to continue to just stay consistent.
Yes, sir.
You have a lot of people that they in it today, then they go tomorrow.
Okay.
You know, and there's no consistency. And the way you bring change is consistency.
Exactly.
Anybody can give out backpacks in August, Halloween candy in October, turkeys in November, and toys in December. And then after that, you don't do anything else till the next August. So part of what we push with New Era Nation, with all of our chapters, is being consistent. Okay. Because people are not going to remember what you did 7 months ago. They're going to remember what you did 7 minutes ago, 7 days ago, 7 seconds ago. So it's all about being consistent and then being intentional. Okay. So don't just be doing it for photo ops or to get attention, but do it with the intent to make a difference in somebody's life. So that's what's been so effective. We have a Mud Roots concept, which was founded by Zeke, which stands on 5 levels of accountability: self, household, community, economics, and political. So every program we do is rooted in our Mud Roots concept. Okay. Get out the mud, then we get the grass. Right. So we have 5 levels of accountability, which make our Mud Roots concept. And so we're unique. Not to compare and contrast, but we have a different flavor from most organizations, most black empowerment organizations, because our focus is to build up the black man and woman spiritually, physically, financially, morally, politically, economically. It's all about the entire man. So we're growing. We're growing. I think what's going to continue to expand our chapters is the chapters we have, being consistent and just staying on purpose, staying on point.
Oh, so that takes me to something I remember you were saying about mentorship in our community. What's that mean to you?
So one thing that happened back when our communities back in the day was your generation, not to put you out there, but your generation was so special because you guys came from a generation where your teacher was your coach. He lived in your neighborhood. He would jack you up if he saw you getting out of order. Amen. His son cut your hair, or his brother cut your hair. His other brother owned the grocery store, and they poured into you, right? It was a village. It wasn't, that's your child. Your child is my child. Right. What happens today is we have an individualistic way of thinking where as long as me and mine straight, I'm good. So I don't check the youngster or correct the youngster for being out of order, because either 1, I'm afraid of him, or 2, I think, well, it's not my child, not my problem. So mentorship to us means us being that father, brother figure that we once had.
Yes.
Having a village.
Yes.
If all these young men is in the street, where the fathers at? So if every father reclaim their sons, they go to streets. If every uncle reclaim their nephew, they go to streets.
Yes, sir.
But the issue is we have brothers who are among the youngsters, but either they are doing what the youngsters are doing, which is unproductive, or they're not actually being effective. You know, you want to get your nephew laid for his birthday, but why not get him a business life? Why not give him an LLC? Why not, you know what I'm saying? So we have to get back to not just having an older person around you, because that's just, we go back to the quality. Yeah, it's a quantity, but where's the quality? We need quality men being into these youngsters' lives to awaken in them the greatness that they have. Our people are beautiful, but somebody has to come along to polish us up and to remind us who we are, what we are, and whose we are. So that's what we mean by mentorship, is having somebody in your corner for not just our men, but our women, to raise them up, and to get them out of the condition we have been put in.
Yes, sir. Exactly, man. Shoot, I couldn't have said it no better. I'm glad it came from you, Stretch. All right. And you know, when you said that, it followed into something that's new. I hope I get your quote right, but I want you to break down this to me. Once you discover why God put you on earth, you enjoy making others happy with your purpose. And this show is all about passion and purpose.
That's right.
And if you don't, you got to feel that coming from Minister Sanders. You got to feel the passion, because passions are based on emotions.
Right.
Purpose is the journey, and that's the why we do what we do.
That's right.
But you got to have that passion. Break down that quote for me, sir.
So many of us, we come to this thing we call earth and life, and we leave without anything being accomplished. They always say that the graveyard is the richest place on earth. You know why? Because in that graveyard is an unfinished book. It's a class you didn't finish. It's a child you didn't raise. It's a goal you didn't accomplish. So we need to make sure that when we are in our final resting place, only thing in it is our remains.
There you go.
But so many of us, we die without completing why God put us on earth. We may get married, we may have a child or two, but we wasn't created to be parents. Children come from God.
Yes, sir.
We're created to help usher and to guide them. That may be a perspective on why you're here, but your purpose is bigger than that.
Yes, sir.
Because your purpose is never going to be something that can be taken away from you. Kids are going to die.
That's right.
Some parents will go before their kids, and some unfortunately won't. Right. So your purpose can't just be, my purpose is to be a mom. You may stop being a mom tomorrow. So is your purpose going to stop? Your purpose is something that's in you. It's bigger than you.
Yes, sir.
It's not a human.
Yes, sir.
It's not a physical thing. Same thing for your passion. You say passions is rooted in emotions. A lot of us, you know, we don't really have proper emotions because we're such a damaged people. So if passion is from emotions and our emotions are all over the place, that must explain why we don't have any purpose. And to have a journey, when you're on a road, you have a map. How can you navigate a journey with no map?
Thank you.
So now we have to have guidance to get on the map. And now because you know who you are, now you know where you want to go. And because you know who you are, now you know what you are, so now you have the proper emotions.
Okay.
So it all coincides with us having knowledge of self, knowledge of the Creator, so we know why we were created. But a whole lot of us are roaming around in our community just lost. That's why we produce that. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You gotta have something, right?
Amen.
So that means if we don't have something, some type of substance, we're gonna be producing nothing. So we gotta discover who we are, what we are, whose we are, so we can start getting why we were created on earth.
Yes, sir. I hope y'all understand and in listening to what the Minister Sanders is saying, especially y'all in the back that don't always pick up everything. It's about purpose and passion. And if you don't know what your purpose is, how can you have passion to lead in that direction? It all comes together. I always mentor my youth that I mentor. I always tell them there's a sunrise and there's a sunset. And when you go look at a tombstone, it has that dash in the middle. You know what that dash is? That's your legacy.
That's right.
It's what you're going to do while you're here, so you go to that grave empty. You've done everything that you needed to do.
That's right.
Man, all right now. So there's a few more things I want to pick out on now. Usually in certain situations, I don't look at the political side of it, but I listen to a lot of your video. I'm telling you, for you to be 26 and me to be 56, that 30-year gap, man, you done bridged the gap with me because I listen to you. I listen to you. I've studied you, and I just love the work that you're doing. I remember, let me phrase this right, and then you can go ahead and tag on to it. But I remember there was a time when we were blessed to have an African-American president, President Barack Obama. We was all excited about this president. Everybody was up in hands. Now we know how the political ring works. Sometimes people will allow you to do what you want to do, and sometimes they don't. But what we got mixed up in, I believe, was that we were so happy about him being there, we didn't force the purpose of why he was there.
That's right.
So can you go ahead and elaborate on that for me?
Yeah, oftentimes we get caught up in symbol, and we overlook that we need substance. Barack Obama, who I used to be very critical of, I've learned to put the criticism in proper perspective. I think what President Obama did, which was so phenomenal, was he gave us a different image besides what we were given. Outside the rapper and the ball player, he showed us that we can actually be the face and the leader of the free world, the country. But the flip side of that was we were so caught up in saying my president is black, or we shall overcome. Now we have overcame, and we overlooked this is still the same racist country. And anytime a country elects a black man to lead the country, you better believe there's a hidden hand, there's a hidden agenda. And because we so caught up, even now, my VP looks like me, Chucks and Pearls.
Speak on it.
We're going to miss the train and get caught up because we're going to overlook work still has to be done.
Yes, sir.
Put on your Chucks. Put on your Pearls. Put on your president's black shirts. Celebrate. It's worth celebrating. But let's not get so caught up in the celebrating of the symbols that we overlook the substance. Okay? During the Barack Obama presidency, there were more of us killed in his tenure.
Thank you. Hello.
During his presidency, unemployment still was down. There was a lot of things that wasn't right. Now, I'm not blaming. He can't do it all. That's one man. Okay, a lot of us can be held accountable because on the local level, we dropped the ball. And if we would have been on our A game, when he came in town, he got to tap into our agenda. But because we were so caught up with celebrating, when he came in town and say, take me where the substance is, we just want to smile and take pictures.
Yes.
Nobody asked him these hard questions. Nobody asked him, what are you doing for us? What's the black agenda? Matter of fact, here's our black agenda.
Thank you.
Because every community ate off his presidency but us.
Right.
So, yes, we can be critical of him, but we also got to hold ourselves accountable for falling for the okie doke. It's not his fault. All he did was be what he was supposed to be, which is the president of the United States. But we got so caught up again in having representation that we overlooked what does that mean. The reason why we want black politicians is not to say my VP looks like me, it's to leverage the playing field.
Thank you.
But if we're going to have politicians who look like me but think like them, that does not work in our interest.
Hello now.
That does not benefit us. So I don't get caught up in the people that look like me that's in office. What does your policies look like? Because you could look like me, think like my enemy, so that's ineffective for me. Not saying that's the case in Obama per se, but in some ways it was because he didn't speak to the issues. Now I understand, like he said in the interview, he says, we always expect the politician to speak like the preacher and the activist. Different roles have different positions. I get it. But there was still something we thought he was required to do that he didn't do. So moving forward, I don't get excited just because this person to be the first black whatever. My question is, okay, that sound good. I'm happy to hear all that. How's that going to benefit us? Because we just supposed to now be excited because you black in office. Them days, we've already been down that road, okay? Yes, we saw it that led us and it was nowhere. So I think that President Obama was a good person. iPad, ran Jordans, Jay-Z and Beyonce on his playlist, doing the Cabbage Patch on the Ellen Show. That's cool, but that doesn't determine the type of president he was. Right, and we get confused. We don't want the criticism because we saying, no, don't criticize him. He was cool. He was this. He spoke at the Soul Train Awards. That's cool. He was part of his culture. But as far as advancing his culture, systemically, He failed to do that for whatever reason. Hands was tied, he tied him himself, whatever. We have to give that fair criticism. But I also have to recognize that even with that, we can't be too hard on him without overlooking the role that we can play.
Right, exactly.
And so the goal has to be with anything. You got most black churches that is focused on the pastor opposed to the faith. So it ain't just a political thing, it's a spiritual thing. If the pastor don't show up, they don't show up.
Right.
Pastor go home, they go home. If he die, they leave, go to the next church to find the next best pastor.
Hello.
So it has to be not just about symbol and symbolism, but substance. Are you here to receive something, or are you here to be entertained and have a fashion show? And so we have to ask ourselves these important imperative questions when it comes to black people in high places. Are we excited just because they're in a high place? Or is it because what they're going to do for us? And if that's your answer, at least let us know that,
right,
so we know how to move accordingly. But I'm no longer going to be excited just because we have black folks in high places, because a lot of black people in these high places are selling us down the river. And they telling us, Stretch, just give me the keys, I'm going to get inside, meet me in the backyard, I'm going to let you in. Then we go around to the back, and they stand in the window and do this. And say, just give me 5 more, I'm almost done. Then we go to the next window, they in the living room eating, licking their fingers, we in the glass like, me in, and they give me one more. Let me get upstairs. Let me get the bedroom upstairs. Then we go on the ladder and climb up, and it's like, okay, but at what point are we gonna let me in the house?
Right.
And you start discovering. They say, well, I gotta play the game. I got a plan here, but they ain't playing the game. The game playing them.
Hello.
And we in the backyard still doing this 25 years later. So never get caught up in the symbolism. Get caught up in the substance, and that's how we bring change.
Substance. That makes the difference. I want to give a shout out to Amber out there, Cindy Michelle. We got Kiana Cry, one of my favorites. Hey, girlfriend, thank you for tuning in. We got Lynn, thank you. And Lynn say, speak on it, minister, speak on it. Yes, indeed. That ties me into one more follow-up question with that. We have this new administration, but we also have new local administration that I truly believe that's where that accountability has to start, especially with our senators or people that speak to our senators and give them the information they need to move up there to the White House. What's your view on that?
So in terms locally, again, it goes back to accountability. I'm never going to be hard on the local politicians without understanding we all play a role. Mm-hmm. I think that I was very critical of so many local politicians here. Mm-hmm. I would get mad when I didn't see them marching through the projects. I would get mad when I didn't see them saying Black Power, doing pretty much what New Era's doing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I have to understand that everybody has a different role to play. Okay. It goes back to purpose. One side of me wants to say, well, you should be doing what I'm doing, but I can't give you your purpose. And when we look at these local politicians, even nationally, most of us ain't never read the job description. Mm-hmm. So I can't get mad at Councilman so-and-so for not giving out the bikes. Mm-hmm. Who's to say that's what he's supposed to do? If that's what he want to do, that's on him. Right. So I tell you know what? I can't be overly critical and try to put things in their job description that may not be. Most of us are unaware and ignorant into the role of what a county commissioner does, right. The role of a city councilman, of a state senator. So we can't get mad because they're not being the Black Power figure we want them to be. Okay. That may not be in the cards itself.
Okay, perfect.
So even with Barack Obama, we was mad that he didn't do this, do that, but who's to say that was in the job description? Yes. His job was to be the president, and he did just that.
Okay.
Whether he was good or bad, that's relative. That's like beauty, it's an eye of the beholder. Right. But if we don't know in the job description, we can't assume and put things in it. So this is why we have to all work our own purpose. Okay. So if Councilman so-and-so ain't doing what I think he should be doing, that means it's on me to do it. Okay. If you ever say, why ain't we doing this? That means that's probably for you to do it, right? Like, so whoever smelt the dealt it, whoever thought about the idea probably should implement it.
Exactly.
So opposed to forcing something on somebody else, how about you step up and you do it? So when it comes to our local politicians, I'm not so critical of them anymore because I recognize that a lot of them got 2-seat passengers. I'm mad because you can't put 4 people in it. Mm-hmm. They're not designed that way. Right. You're not going to hear a black politician speak like a minister, especially because why? They're not allowed to.
Absolutely.
Just like as a minister, it's some things I may not be able to say or can say.
Right.
So with different roles, we all got to play them differently. And if they're trying to be career politicians, which most of them are, mm-hmm. and help progress our people, which most of them claim to do, then they have to move a certain way. So I always urge us to not be so critical. Just make sure we're working among them, with them,
Right.
to bring change. Some criticism is needed,
Right.
but it has to be constructive.
Right.
Because you can't call out the politician for not doing something, but your whole brother's a pimp and you quiet. Hello. You mad the councilman so-and-so didn't do this or that, but you ain't raising your child.
Thank you. Okay.
You mad at this politician for not answering your phone call to get the light switched, but you ain't gave out a backpack since last August. So we got to ask ourselves, what are we doing? Mm-hmm. See, that's how we change. But as long as we keep looking for the one leader to lead us, we're going to be in this dark, sunken place.
Yes.
We all have to step up and be the village and realize we got to be what we've been waiting on.
Yes,
we got to be the change that we want to see. We are who we've been praying and waiting on.
Outstanding.
Everything we want, God has already given it to us. But you keep looking around, you looking past it. Look down and get it. But it's all about, we want to put that work in. It's easy to criticize and judge, and I don't like that politician, but what are you doing?
Did you even vote?
You know what I'm saying? And so, and even with the voting piece, we voting, but there's no follow-up. Voting ain't the end all be all. If voting was going to save us, but we'd have been free. Voting is a tool to build a strategy to bring forth our freedom.
Yes, sir.
It's not the end all be all. It's not our voice, because if it's our voice, 17 and down is voiceless. So you gotta be careful with language.
Yes.
It's a tool, just like marching and protesting and boycotting and supporting black-owned business. These are not solutions, these are tools. Eventually, we keep hitting, we knock them down.
Right.
But it has to be hit all across the board.
Right.
If we only smashing voting, and then the economic piece is failing, we wonder why now it's leaning. Why ain't this side fail? You only hitting this side.
Right.
So you gotta hit it, vote, hit it, economics, hit. It's a all across the board with the hammer on the wall. That's how the wall's gonna fall. You hit one side, you're gonna have a half a wall. And so it's all about hitting it all across and making sure that as much as we hold them accountable to a standard, hold ourselves to that same standard as well.
Yes, sir. And you know, you bounced on something about that wall, and we said constructive criticism. Most people don't break that word down, constructive and criticism. But if you look at construction, that is to build.
That's right.
Okay? Criticism is not to judge, it's to help you become better at building your purpose.
That's right.
That's the way I look at it. I call constructive criticism gifts. There's a young lady on there, Kiana Cry. She's listening to us, and she know I always, when I tell them something and it's not what they want to hear, take this gift. Because sometimes people look at constructive criticism and they automatically put a wall up. But then if you say, let me give you a gift, they look at it different, because everybody like Christmas, right?
That's right.
So you give them that gift. They don't understand that it's the criticism, but it's just coming in a different delivery.
That's right.
I think we're going to run to a commercial real quick. I want to get my sponsors up there. I got 702 Braids for You, and I got the Bougie Las Vegas Boutique. We're going to pop their information up there so you guys can go ahead and use these services. These women are just amazing in what they do. Cindy over there at 702 Braids for You is phenomenal. I could take my hat off on my new style for this week, because she does me every week. And we just keep it going. They are really blessed. And then I got the Bougie Girls Vegas Boutique. Gives me my chains and everything, have me looking fly, just so I can come out here and do what I do.
That's right.
You gonna play a song on that? We're gonna get a song in here real quick. And we got Bougie Girl Vegas going on good.
K&K.
Hey, mama. Hey, ma. I can sing too. Let me show you what I got, ma. I could be in the studio just like you. Let me show you.
Ladies and gentlemen, to Edition.
It's been a journey, it's been a ride. I just really want to testify that I am.
Okay, alright, come on, fella.
Yes, I am.
Say, okay, come on.
It's been a journey, it's been a ride. I just really want to testify that I am. Yes, I am. I am loved. I am light. It's gonna be alright. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Let's go get the hood. Come on, y'all say, let's go.
It's been a journey, it's been a ride. I just really wanna Yes, I am. It's been a journey, it's been a ride. I just really wanna testify that I am. Yes, I am. I'm love. I'm light. It's gonna be alright. Yes, I am. 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 It's been a journey, it's been a ride. I just really wanna testify that I am. Yeah, yes, I am. It's been a journey, it's been a ride. I just really wanna testify that I am. Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm love. I am love. I'm light. I am light. It's gonna be alright. Yes, I am. 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 I'm love. I'm light. I am light. It's gonna be alright. Yes, I am. 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 I'm love. I am love. I'm light. I am light. It's gonna be alright. Yes, I am. 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 I am love. I am light. It's gonna be alright. God told me to testify. I'll give you this love. Be alright. Be alright. Be alright. It's been a journey, it's been a ride. I just really wanna testify that I am. Yes, I am.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Two Edition, man. Y'all hot. That was good. That was dope. Give me the very beginning, Trell.
Hey, are we living our best life? That's what we're here to do today. Live our best life right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm blessed to have the minister, Stretch Sanders, here with me today, dropping dimes, nickels, dice, gems, and everything else you can hold on to. You got to listen to him and listen to this repeatedly. Make sure you forward it to somebody and share it, because it don't cost nothing to share. It don't cost nothing to like. But the more we get the word out in our community, the basis of us all coming together to meet the same kind of goal, and it's not going to happen overnight. Minister Sanders said consistency is what makes the difference. We can't just be in August or Christmas time or nothing like that. What we do in our communities and what he's doing out there with the new era, man, it's just so beautiful to see. And me growing up here in Las Vegas, I've never even seen nothing like that before. And I've been here a long time. We've never had a super strong leader that's staying on top of the game. If you see him out in public, you know he's out there putting in some work. And don't forget, you got to catch him on his dance, because he going to step a little bit or he going to get it grooving, because that's what
We're going to get it in.
He going to get it in. So getting back on this, remember, this show is all about passion and purpose. And it is one of my programs, one of my life coaching programs that I teach as well, and it's called Passion and Purpose. It's a 15-day program that helps you kind of get a better understanding and find out what your passion is, and then I help you turn that in and drive your purpose. This is Life Coach Kurt. You know how I do it. We keep that passion and purpose going. So back to Minister Sanders. I got one more question. I got a few more questions.
Get it in.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Stretch for Change Foundation?
Yes, sir. So, as many of you guys know, I'm founding president of New Era Las Vegas, but I also wanted to start a foundation to, number one, I always think it's, even I tell my members this, don't be afraid to create something outside New Era, right? New Era is an awesome organization, but at the end of the day, you know, there's things that, as a part of the New Era principles, that it may not always align with some things you want to do. You may want to do some other things. And so the Stretch for Change Foundation is not to reinvent any wheels. If anything, it's to help New Era spin better. But I also wanted to have something where, you know, I'm going to be a father in a few months.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I wanted to have something that can carry on my own personal legacy. And so if my daughter wants to start the Stretch for Change Museum or whatever, the school, she can do that in honor, along with my wife, you know, of her husband and father. So the foundation is a personal foundation to continue the work of Minister Stretch Sanders, but it's also to be a hub resource. So if you're looking for a lawyer, call the foundation. We get you that lawyer.
Okay.
You know, you're looking for life coaching. Okay, let me call Kurt. You know, it's about us being a hub. It's not to try to reinvent services we already have in the community.
Right.
If you need outreach done, okay, let me call, you know, a New Era Las Vegas. So we're just a hub, because that's what I stand for, bringing people together.
Okay.
So I wanted the foundation that represents that, my faith principles, you know, be a faith-based organization. New Era Las Vegas is more, we have members who are Muslim, Christian, so we don't focus on particular faiths. My foundation is a Christian-based, it's spiritual-based, so just something that kind of is in more of alignment with me as a person, but it's all about just being a bigger resource to further help things that already exist.
Okay. Outstanding. Thank you. That's incredible. I like the hub, so you can have outside. It's called wraparound services in what I do with the youth and the families. If we don't have all those resources in our company, we reach out to other companies and wrap them arms around that family.
That's right.
And get them what they need.
That's right.
Outstanding. You know, I failed to mention about your new office space and the food bank. Is it Miss Wesley Food Bank you got
That's
going?
right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So with all of our New Era Nation programs, again, it's rooted in mud roots. So part of that accountability with community accountability is making sure we're being held accountable for feeding our people.
Okay.
We cannot keep expecting those who broke us to build us. So it's on us to essentially help us and to be there for us. And so how can they hear a word, a message? How can we hear words about passion or purpose on an empty stomach?
Okay.
So you feed them, then you feed them. You know what I'm saying? So we first feed them physically, then we come and get with them spiritually and politically, socially, and all the other elites.
Outstanding.
And so with the pantry, Mary Wesley was a pioneer in the state of Nevada.
Yes, sir.
She was part of the Operation Life movement, the Clark County Welfare Rights movement. So they did a lot of things that essentially changed the state. One of the things where Mary Wesley was responsible for helping to bring food stamps here. So it was like this woman had a restaurant in the 80s called Mary Diner. She was known for feeding the community and for fighting for black families, particularly, to have food and resources.
Yes.
And so her daughter is one of our founding members of the organization, Yvonne Wesley. And so we said, you know what, let's name our program after your mom. And then we got the space. I said, well, let's name the pantry after your mom. It's carrying her legacy of feeding our people. So that's the Mary Wesley's Food Pantry.
That's a blessing right there. Keeping it moving. So it sounds like, how young were you when you moved to Las Vegas?
I was
You
16. I was high school. I was 16 when I moved here.
Yes.
And I was 19 when I got involved in the community.
That's right. And you was at Las Vegas High School?
That's right.
Yeah.
Best high school in Vegas.
I don't know. I went to Votech, and now it's called Sector. But that's all right.
Home of the Wild Game. That's right.
Las Vegas. That's just great. You know, I just caught you. You said something. I wanted to write it down so I could say it back. But it had, like you say, substance to it. We can't expect to break us and help us.
So we can't expect those who broke us to help build us.
Yes. Y'all hear that? We can't expect those who broke us to help us. And that is a strong, strong statement. All you got to do is think about it. Because what we going through right now, these troubling times, hey, they breaking a whole lot of us, and now we got to rebuild and come back.
That's right.
Another question for you. I love this analogy. You said, I'm asking, what does the clean glass versus the dirty glass analogy mean?
Come on. That's my favorite right there, brother. Listen, that analogy, man, brother, it humbled me.
Yes, sir.
It got me to stop fussing so much. It got me to stop being so rah-rah and just shut up, sit down, and be an example. And so with the clean glass, dirty glass analogy, that's an analogy that the Nation of Islam, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I think he created that saying that was their foundation, which is, you know, let's clean ourselves up and then show our people what clean looks like. Okay. And so I apply that to my life, and we apply that to our organization. And what that means is, opposed to saying, well, Councilman so-and-so ain't do this, or Commissioner so-and-so ain't do this, examine and ask yourself, what are you doing? Okay. You got a whole lot of life coaches with messed up lives. How that work? Who your life coach? We got a whole lot of healers who hurt.
Yes, sir.
Whole lot of spiritual leaders who broken. Tore from the floor up, make you want to throw up. So we got to understand some things. How can you do what you haven't first examined? So you got to first clean your own glass.
Yes.
And to clean the glass, you got to scrub that thing.
Yes, sir.
Scrub your glass out, put in fresh water, and be an example.
Yes.
Don't judge. Too many of us judge people for not finding their purpose and their passion without understanding who first broke us and stole the passion and purpose from us.
Thank you. Thank you.
You don't build pyramids and build the White House. We built the White House and we built the dope house. You hear me? You don't build those two entities and all these things we produce, good and bad, without having a purpose and a passion.
Thank you.
But somewhere down the line, we were broken. So for us to be a broken people, you got to remember, in slavery, we created gospel. All these things was created through hurt. Yes. Gospel, jazz, blues.
Yes.
So we're so creative and so blessed and so phenomenal being broken. Imagine what's going to happen when we get healed. Okay. How much good we can do. So opposed to judging one another, we need to just take a step back and be the clean glass. Be an example. Because while you sitting there saying, man, that brother sagging his pants, yada, yada, yada. Listen, I sag too. Mm-hmm. But when my mind got lifted, so did my pants. You didn't have to give me no belt. You didn't hear what I just said.
Yes, sir.
I was sagging. But as the knowledge increased, so did my style of dressing.
Yes, sir.
I went and got my own belt.
Thank you.
So, but knowledge was the clean glass to my dirty glass.
Okay.
So we got to be clean glasses. Don't judge the brothers in the gang life.
Right.
Just give them the right idea.
Thank you.
If you can sell dope, you can run a business.
Just switch the product. The hustle's the same. We just got to change the product.
If you can walk around and patrol neighborhoods looking for destruction, you can also protect it and look for protection.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
If you can stand in front of a building 20 deep, why not buy the building?
Hello,
all these things have to be ideas, but we're so busy in the church and the mosque and the organizations and the bourgeoisie circles, we're so busy judging people opposed to just cleaning your glass up. Hello? Don't keep fussing. Don't say who ain't doing what. What are you doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And hold yourself accountable. The great philosopher Michael Jackson said this: start with the man in the mirror.
Hello now. That's my song right there.
I'm asking him to make a change.
Yes.
So the mirror is the clean glass.
Yes.
Look at yourself and see, or look at pictures, or look at your people and see what you used to be, what we used to be.
Yes.
And let that convict you. It's no words I can say to a brother that to make him feel low enough to clean his life up. He has to have that own come to whatever moment in his own life, and that will clean him up. What I can do is be an example. And opposed to saying, brothers need to treat their wives right, I'm going to show you how I treat my wife.
Thank you.
Brothers need to be in the community. I'm going to show you I'm in the community. I'm just going to be that example. And a clean glass don't mean it's a perfect glass.
No, not at all.
My water got a little some floaties in it too. Understand what I'm saying? My water got some particles. I wouldn't drink my water. It's clean, but don't drink it.
All right.
It still needs to be improved.
Yes, sir.
It still needs to be filtered.
Yes, sir.
But it's clean.
Yes. That's that journey. That's that life journey. It don't stop when you get a certain age. It's a continuance, and it goes back to mentoring these young men and women to change their mindset from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, so they're understanding that learning is power.
That's
Education is power.
That's
now, what
right.
you gonna do with it? And as a life coach and as a mentor to many kids in our community, that's all I say. I just show them.
You
I just show them. This is my life. You see my life? It ain't got to be yours, but I want to show you the things that I'm telling you have substance
That's right.
behind it, because we talk about it, because I teach you about it. Man, I'm about to jump out this seat over here. I don't know if it's Sunday or not, but I'm ready to pass the plate. Amen.
Bless you, brother.
That is it. That is it. Man, I love that analogy. Clean glass versus dirty glass.
That's right.
If I don't learn nothing today, that one's coming home with me. That's one that's coming
And
home
brother,
with me.
before you go to the next question, again, I want to reiterate, that's what literally changed me.
Yeah.
Because I have to admit, I was what they say, throwing stones in a glass house. We all do it.
Yes, sir.
We all judge when we shouldn't judge. We all speak before we should understand the full story. So I have to understand, stop being so critical and calling everybody out and hold myself accountable.
There you go.
So now I don't mind apologizing. Some of us only apologize if we get called out for it.
Right.
You hurt my feelings. Well, I'm sorry. But you know you hurt their feelings. Why not say you sorry before they even call you? So part of it is examining your own glass and understanding you ain't, like I said, I'm clean. It's a clean glass to looking at it. You pick it up. I got some stuff in it. So I'm still trying to get to not a point of perfection, but to be as clean as I can be. To strive for righteousness, to strive for greatness, to stretch for greatness.
Yes, sir.
That's my goal. And so if everybody clean their glass, the cabinet gonna be straight.
There you go.
The dishwasher good. The sink is good because everybody glass is clean. But as long as you're so busy talking about so-and-so glass still got some beef in it, that glass still got some string beans in it. And your glass got string beans, got beef, got a little mac and cheese from the plate, some ice cubes, a little Hawaiian punch at the bottom. Your glass is toe up.
Yes, sir.
But you're so busy trying to criticize others. So I encourage all of us, when it comes to passion and purpose, focus on you.
Yes, that's where it starts. Yes, sir.
People gonna dislike your glass, but you gotta keep being you.
Yes.
Plenty of people don't like the decisions I make. They don't like the type of leader that I am. I gotta stay focused and not take it personal if you call out what's in my glass.
There you go.
Because I'm on a mission. We all should be on missions. My goal is to leave this world better than when I found it.
Thank you.
And to make sure when I'm in that ground, my resting place is clean.
Okay.
And I don't got nothing with me.
Okay.
And the God I serve can tell me, job well done, my good and faithful servant. That's my mission, purpose, and my agenda. So I don't have time to call out your glass. Let me get me and mine straight so I can be better and help you clean. You help me clean mine. We clean each other's glasses.
There you go.
But I'm not finna throw stones and bust your glass. I know my glass is dirty.
Amen. That's it right there. I'm telling you. Hey, you getting this straight tonight from Minister Stretch Sanders, bringing it to you live out here, BU Radio Networks, because this is how we do it. We streaming 5 different places, and you got to love it. After this show, I want you to share this with as many people in your family, in your community as possible, because you know a lot of people don't get to hear the truth. How people just sit up here and let you know the type of person they are and understand their passion and purpose, moving in the right direction to try to change what's going on in our community and bringing us together to meet as one. Stop throwing stones into other people's glasses and things like that, and take care of your own first. So then you can help somebody else become a better person.
That's right.
Become that next leader in the community,
That's
or
right.
even just for a better person for their family.
That's right.
You know, I don't make New Year's resolutions. I always say I just want to be a better man tomorrow than I was yesterday.
That's right.
Because New Year's resolutions go out the door at the end of February. Everybody to stop thinking about it. They eat and they stop exercising and everything. But if you just try to be a better person each day, you're going to go a lot further in life.
That's right.
That's it. I want to give a shout out to Miss Kenya Shows out there. Hey, Lynn somebody said, what was it? Lift up as you lift your mind, lift your pants. They got that one, bro. They like that one. Lynn posted that one.
real,
She
brother.
said that's real right there. Yes, and that's another line I'm going to use with my boys that I mentor in the YAP program. You know, these kids, they out there and they just mixed up. They a little mixed up. Maybe the guidance isn't there, but the reason I do what I do is to mentor them, to give them these life coaching skills and conversations to build them up so they can look at this world and shift their paradigm and not look at it in that box that surrounds them in whatever neighborhood they in. There's stuff outside this neighborhood that you need to see, and I take them everywhere.
That's right.
You know, anything else? I want to make sure you give everybody your handles, how they can contact you, your organization, how they can give donations for your Cash App. Go ahead and drop that information for them.
Thank you, brother. So My social media, my Facebook is Stretch Sanders. My Instagram is _official_stretch. And our New Era Las Vegas Instagram is New Era Las Vegas. Facebook and Instagram, New Era Las Vegas.
Outstanding. So y'all know
Oh, you
where
said,
to get.
real quick, I forgot the donation piece. Let me
There
throw
you
that
go.
out.
Yes.
That's important. $ serving the people. $ serving the people. And I want to encourage people. You know, I don't just encourage people to donate. I think the greatest donation you can give is you.
Yes.
Everybody's not in a position to physically donate. And when it comes to people donating their time, I also understand and I recognize we are in a pandemic. And so if you can't physically give your time, there's something you can do among your time. You'd be surprised how much we need and assistance we need that you can actually do from your home.
Outstanding.
So, you know, we need bags. You can make food bags at your house. We come pick it up and take it to the pantry.
Okay.
There's so much that you can do to be effective. And that's I want to say as we close this out, when it comes to passion and purpose, we tend to compare and contrast.
Yes, sir.
And we tend to think that if I can't be like Stretch or Kurt or MLK or Malcolm, all these, we put people on pedestals and we think we have to be that. Be what you were supposed to be. Be what God made you to be. Don't compare and contrast. Well, I don't got this, they got that. Get rid of those things that's killing us spiritually, the jealousy, the envy, and figure out what's your purpose. And recognize that everybody's not gonna always like your purpose.
Thank you.
And you gotta be okay with saying, do you?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Everybody's not gonna like your level of passion.
Right.
So don't always focus on people liking you. Many don't like me, okay?
They'll get on
I'm not
you.
concerned with being liked.
Right.
If I hurt your feelings, let me know and I'll apologize.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be held accountable for that. But my job is not to be liked. My job is to be effective
Yes, sir.
and to make sure I'm fulfilling my passion and my purpose.
Yes,
So
sir.
we have to understand that. Live your passion, live your purpose, live your truth, most importantly.
Right.
And be what you was made to be. So many of us, we don't never fulfill our potential because we always looking at the next man. And it's not from inspiration, it's competition or it's jealousy. Listen, do what you was meant to do.
Yes, sir.
And if you don't know your passion or your purpose, figure out just okay, what's one thing I enjoy doing I would do for free?
That's what it's
What's
all about.
one thing I enjoy doing that I can't get enough of? If you have no answer for that, what's one thing that make me smile?
Yes, yes.
What's one thing that make me feel love? If you don't feel love, what's one thing that make me feel, hate and get rid of that? Do the opposite.
Yes, the opposite.
So it's all about that. It's all about understanding we all were here and created to be our best selves and to live our best life.
Yes, sir.
But live your best life, not somebody else's best life.
Thank you.
Your best life.
Yes. Living your best life. You didn't think he threw that in there? Y'all didn't hear that, right? Live your best life. I think we almost getting ready to close. I got two last things. Now, Minister Sanders always be popping with them hats, always looking good with the
Thank you,
fedoras and
brother.
everything. So I had to get in the closet to put
Come on
mine
now.
on
And you got
today.
to let's join. All right now. That's smooth.
And the last thing, this is one of those off the wall questions. If you could be anybody other than you, because I know you only gonna be you for one day, who would that be?
Minister Farrakhan.
Minister Farrakhan.
Louis Farrakhan.
Louis Farrakhan.
I would bounce right now. 87 years old. I'm gone, but I'm Farrakhan.
There you go.
And the
Outstanding.
reason being is Minister, outside my own reflection, Minister Farrakhan was that clean glass to me.
Yes.
Even though I'm not a Muslim, I am a Baptist Christian minister. I do believe that we can take a little bit from everybody's persuasion of faith.
Yes, sir.
And that can help to generate passion and your purpose. And so listening to Minister Farrakhan, I listen to Farrakhan every day, literally, in the morning and at night. And that brother, to me, is just a symbol of truth.
Mm-hmm.
He's a symbol of what it means to speak and don't care about being cut off. To speak and don't care who like you, white or black.
Thank
And he always says, as long as I'm speaking truth, you can say I'm a hater, but am I a liar? So to me, that brother changed my life in so many ways because he showed me, just about what it really means to be a spiritual, religious leader, but love your people
Yes.
and love your culture. and not laugh when it ain't funny, and scratch when you don't itch, and bend when you shouldn't bend over, and dance when ain't no music. All this other analogy, I can go on and on. Stand on something. And if it means sacrificing, if it means whatever, live on that and die on that.
Outstanding. Y'all heard that. That came from just came in from Minister Stretch Sanders. You got to live your life. Look at them glasses, folks. There's some dirty ones and there's some clean ones out there. If yours ain't clean and you out there judging, folks, you're going to have to clean it up. Don't worry. You might have some particles left, but it's a bunch of us out there to help you clean out them particles of where that life is going pretty clean. I want to say that's it. We got our sponsors. I want to say one more time. I want to thank Minister Stretch Sanders for blessing us with this hour of his knowledge. It's always a pleasure. You know, brother, I love running into you. I love talking to you. I ain't gonna sleep tonight. I'm gonna be on cloud 9 tonight. And I want to say again to my sponsors, thank you 702 Braids for You and the Bougie Girls Boutique Las Vegas. It's a great evening. Always remember, don't live somebody else's best life. Live your best life. This is Life Coach Kurt signing off. Amen. Stay blessed and highly favored.
Yeah, VIPs in the building. Another Fat Meats exclusive. Yeah. Oh. Hey. Yo. Fire. A blazing inferno. Bring the alarm. Turn up the meter, run them heaters. Make it hotter. The sauce is about to get warmer, homie. I tried to warn you. Calm before the storm. Hold on, come on. We gonna go ahead and get riled up. When the spirit get the movement, it'll take you higher than the mile up. I'm telling you, go ahead and switch your style up. Praise it like you're crazy, baby. Watch the blessings pile up.
I hear from say, who does he think he is? If they only knew, then they would probably do the things I do. Ain't no shame in my game. I'ma give him praise. 'Cause it's what I do. I was made for this, created for this. It's too bad if you can't get off of me. What? I'm God's property. What? Get out my way. What? Ain't no stopping me. What? Don't matter to me if they stop and stare. But to get my praise on you, you best beware. If you ever wonder who I am, I'll tell you. If anybody asks you who we be, just let them know.
So let me praise his name like you gon' praise him. In the drop, in the Jeep, down the middle of the street. Is it the drop of a dime? It's gonna give it up to you. Anything to give you. This is down like it does.
I feel for you. So unfortunate that you don't get the same feeling that I get. If you believe
And receive a guarantee you're gonna be
feeling this presence just like me.
So let's ride. Let them know what you're feeling inside. You know it's a thing you can't hide. And yo, we got you feeling alright. That's right.
Tell them haters get off of me. I'm God's property. Get out my way, yeah. It ain't no stopping me. Oh, don't matter to me, yo, I promise. Praising his name in my heaven's hottest. If you ever wonder who I am,
I'll tell you.
if anybody asks you who we be,
Just let them know who that is. Who that be. Praise his name like you gon' praise him. In the drop, in the Jeep, down the middle of the street. Is it the drop of a dime? It's gonna give it up to you. Ain't a thing to give you. This is it down like it does.
I'm a praise kind of soul, and giving him praise is what I practice. Blessing his name every time I handle my mattress. If I'm dancing and singing, you know I'm bringing crazy praising into the kingdom. I gotta keep the praises ringing. Yo, it's on top. Got me pen and pad in the rhyme. Got me holding to him tighter than a highland. Yo, I'm reminded that his blessed affection is what I'm rapping. When I use my praise as my weapon, and yo, don't hate me 'cause he draping me a crazy jinky. The crazy cake I saw the first debate he added to me, and boy, did he add a lot.